In today's lesson, we're going to continue on with slope-intercept that we've been looking at the last day. If we have an equation in the form of y equals mx plus b, this is once again what we call slope-intercept form. And there's two things we need to be able to do to graph out a slope-intercept form. Okay, we need to know what the slope is, which is our m, and we've been focusing on that the last few times in class. But today we're going to also include this intercept, and the intercept is our b. Okay, so another way we can think of the b is our beginning point. Okay, where do we begin? So in the previous assignment, if we had the equation that said y equals 1/2 x, there is no b on the end. So we said the beginning point was always right here in the center at 0, 0. Because it's like saying y equals 1/2 x plus 0. Okay? But it's not always going to be 0. We're going to throw a number on the end today. So we want to graph this equation, y equals 1/2 x plus 3. Alright, so we do not start at the center anymore. Now we have this intercept, we have our beginning point. And the beginning point always is where it crosses the y-axis. So it's pretty simple. All we do is look at the ending and we say it's at a positive 3. So we're going to go from our center, we're going to count up to 3. 1, 2, 3. And then that's where our beginning point is going to take place this time. And then we just go back and we ask, what is our movement again? Our movement, our slope, tells me to go up 1 and right 2. So not from the center, go to our beginning point. And our beginning point says go up 1 and then count over right 2 times. And then there's our movement. And so today, our line will now look like this. Okay, so like I said in the previous lesson, they always went through the origin. But now, when we add this b, it just shifts our line up or down, and we have a new beginning point. Okay, let's look at a few others. So if I give you the equation y equals negative 3 over 2 x plus 1. So this is in the form of y equals mx plus b. So once again, the b, the ending point, is our beginning point. It's our starting point. It's our initial value. And that initial value is what we're going to talk about later. Another way of saying it. So it starts at a positive 1. So we come to our center, and we're going to go to positive 1. There's our beginning point, our initial value. Okay? Then we go back to our movement. What does our slope tell us to do? So from our beginning point, our initial value, our slope is negative 3, which means go down 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then right a positive 2. 1, 2. And here is our next point. Down 3, 1, 2, 3. Right 2, 1, 2. And then we send a line to those 2 points. And that is the graph of y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 1. Okay. Now if we have this situation, let's say we have y equals negative 2/5 x plus 4. Okay, so a couple things. Last video we talked about if this negative is usually just going to be thrown in the front here. And to quickly decide where we want to put it, we're just going to move him to the top. So really this problem is like y equals negative 2/5 x plus 4. Okay, another way of just thinking about it. Alright, so same thing happens. We have a starting point, a beginning point, an initial value of 4. So we're going to count up to a positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's where our initial value, our starting point, is going to take place. And then my slope is going to tell me to go down 2 and right 5. So from my beginning point, we're going to count down 2 times. 1, 2, and then right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And over here is my second point, and we're going to send a line through those 2 points. And that's the graph of this equation. Okay? Now, our initial value does not always have to be at a positive. Okay, we can have a situation like this. Y equals 2x minus 3. So if we look at this problem right here, okay, our initial value, our beginning point, our starting point is a negative 3. Well, that's fine. So we come normally, like I said, start in the center, but we're not going to start there really. Our initial value is at negative 3, so we're going to count down 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. And here is where our graph will begin. Okay? Then we got to find what's our movement, what's our slope. So he sits in front of the x again, right? Oh, but wait, I thought we wanted this to be a fraction, a rise over a run. So old concepts tie in, throw him over 1, and now we have our movement. So from negative 3, he's going to tell me to go up 2, up 1, up 2, and right 1. And there's my graph. Okay, so it's tying everything we've been doing together. If we have the equation y equals x minus 1, where is this graph going to begin? Where is the starting point? Beginning point is right here. He's going to start at negative 1. Now what's my movement? What's going to tell me to go from here? Slope is always located in front of the x. And here we go. Remember, there's always a number there. There's a 1 there. But I thought we wanted this to be a fraction. So put him over 1. And then, so what am I telling me to do? We're going to go up 1 and right 1. And there's the graph of y equals x minus 1. Okay, so tying this stuff up all together. I want you guys to think about this one. Starting point would be at positive 3, so 1, 2, 3. And then my slope, my movement, there's a number here, there's a 1, right? And we want it to be a fraction. So my slope's going to tell me to go down 1 and right 1. And there's the graph of y equals negative x plus 3. Okay? What about this graph? Our beginning point, oh, there's not a beginning point again. So this is a review problem. We've done this before. If there's nothing here, well then we know, yep, he's going to start at 0. Okay, so don't panic. They're not always going to be like some of the old ones. And then my slope, oh, we want to be a fraction again. So from my beginning point, go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And right 1. And there's the graph. Okay? So the whole thing you're trying to remember today is what I said. This thing is so important. Y equals mx plus b. Slope intercept form. As long as we know what the intercept is, our beginning point, and our movement, then we can graph any problem. So if it said y equals 1/2 x plus 3, then this is really simple to go from. Our beginning point is a positive 3. So 1, 2, 3, that's where we're going to start. And then our slope, which sits in front of our x, that's our movement. It tells me to go up 1 and right 2. And then we're going to send a line through it. Okay? Do not forget the tricky ones that we talked about in the last video. Whenever you get an equation that just says y equals some number, okay, y equals a number, your slope is always going to be 0. And we know that slope 0, the line's going to be horizontal. And we know from seeing what it tells me, hey, y is negative 2. So go down to negative 2 on the y-axis and draw a horizontal line. Okay? Easy thing to memorize for a test. You just got to do it. And then vice versa, if we get an x equal a number, okay, those are where our slopes are undefined. And those are our vertical lines. So you simply just go over to where it tells you on the x, it says x is always 3, and then you draw your vertical line. Okay? Remember those. Alright? Once again, go ahead and finish up your assignment from here. If you have any questions, reach out to Mrs. Brimhall or myself. We'll be happy to help you.